Despite my love for small computers and routers, usually the size of things comes with trade-offs. Trade-offs that are kind of hard to ignore as an enthusiast. So when GL.iNet reached out and asked if they could sponsor me checking out their new Beryl 7 and Brume 3 devices, I shit you not, that small, that can handle VPN connections. I'm talking encrypted tunneling of your traffic between the two of them at speeds in excess of a gigabit. This small. Bullshit. Let me try that thing, dang it. Let me crack the Beryl 7 open first, and then we'll take more of a look at the Brume in a minute here. Mind you, I just got the Slate 7, which is fantastic. It's got the screen and whatnot, but I'll tell you what, something that's more portable and tiny is always gonna ruffle my feathers, you know? Is that a reasonable statement? That's usually a bad thing, right? What's a good feather ruffling? Inside the box, we've got, instructions. We don't need those where we're going. Pfft. Seal it. Seal it. What? Seal it. Oh, look at it. It's so little. Oh God. Wow, look how small it is. It's just a little guy. iPhone 17 Pro Max for comparison. You see this D-brand case right here? Not sponsored, but like that color match case. Link in the description, homies. Just like there'll be a link to the GL.iNet products in the description. While you're down there, get subscribed. Anyways, around the back here, we've got a USB Type-C power input there that does actually operate at 5, 9, or 12 volts. So it should work with pretty much any USB PD brick, including a battery bank. We've got two RJ45 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports and a USB 3.0 Type A port, which you can use for things like tethering your phone or connecting a cellular modem or network storage if that's your fancy. Because at the end of the day, this thing, despite its size and being a travel router, it's also just a router if you want. It's Wi-Fi 7. So even though it's only 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz at the price point we're talking about here, sub 150 USD, you're still gonna be able to get some pretty impressive speeds, I suspect. And other than the new mint green colorway, what really matters here is the internals. Those are what have changed. There's a quad core 2 gigahertz MediaTek chip. That's what's gonna enable those crazy VPN speeds. WireGuard at 1100 megabit per second, OpenVPN DCO at a gigabit per second. It's genuinely ridiculous. Inside the box, we've also got a little Ethernet cable, a little flat pack one, nice and easy for storing, USB-C cable, and then all the little things you need to plug it in various countries. To be honest, lugging it around with all these little adapters, probably not something I'm gonna do, but it does at least come with the USB power brick, which is I'm gonna get it plugged in, and then I'm gonna get it plugged in. So I'm gonna plug it in so we can do any more updates or whatever, and then I'm gonna plug it in so we can look at the Brume 3. Yes. I forgot. I like the Brume 3. There's also a little reset button as well as a mode switch. That mode switch can do certain actions like toggling on and off your VPN connection. I think you can also set it to enable certain networks and whatnot. But yeah. The Brume 3, but without the Wi-Fi. They call it a security gateway. It's a little router. On the back here, it's got a USB power input. It wants a 5 volt 3 amp input. Most USB PD power bricks and battery banks should be fine. And then we've got not one, not two, but three 2.5 gig RJ45 Ethernet jacks. Now it says WAN, LAN, and LAN, but you can rebind these to be like dual WAN if you want for multi-WAN failover. There's also a USB Type-C data port, which you can, why didn't I fuck off these things earlier? Choke me, daddy. God damn it. And also, like the Beryl 7, you can use it to tether your phone for a cellular modem failover situation, multi-WAN as well, or for USB storage. Here's a little power brick, and then another little Ethernet cord. I was just gonna say this doesn't come with the international adapters, but it's not a travel router. That's wallet sized, even the thickness. Definitely something you can throw in your pocket or in your backpack maybe, right? Given that this is just basically a VPN gateway, you can kind of use it in a few different ways. Either to replace your router, especially if you had some like standalone access points, or you were using something like the Beryl 7 or the Flint 3 as a standalone access point. This can just be your router or VPN gateway. You give it an Ethernet feed or two if you have multiple WAN connections, and then this just gives you a little portal. With this combination, over a gigabit speeds. I kind of want to open it. I should probably make it work first, but it does. That second USB port, by the way, when this is powered correctly with 5 volt 3 amp input, can do 5-volt 2-amp output. It's tight, all right? Eh? Eh? Wow, oh, it's passive too. That's so cute. Just a little heatsink, little guy there. This overheats after because I took it apart. It's not my fault. Got some thermal goop on the back of the chip thing. It's covered in this metal to isolate the EMF from all those electronics. And there you go, more goop on the other side. Can I get this shielding off? Use your memory die as a pry point. That's a good idea. Ooh. Hey, there we go. There's some stuff. There's a Realtek chip under there of some capacity. The big one there in the top middle is our MediaTek chipset. It's very simple. I appreciate that this is like not an overly complicated design. The key is when you're putting screws back in, when it feels like there's a lot of resistance because you're cross-threading it, just to keep going. Keep calm and screw on.
What you do with your GL.iNet Brume 3 is up to you, and you may face the full legal consequences for doing so. Please don't be an idiot.
Boom! Beryl 7, let's go. Let's get connected to the Wi-Fi network it broadcasts and set it up. GL.MT 3600BE79A. I love that they pop up the set up your admin password thing as a captive portal on the Wi-Fi. Rather than having to go to an IP address or whatever, no, captive portal. It's brilliant. It's there. Arlo is cute. Very secure password. I definitely won't forget to change that. We definitely want 160 megahertz dynamic bandwidth, all of the bandwidth. And here we are in the GL.iNet admin panel, and we've got to start by picking our network mode. Since I have it plugged into Ethernet with our 2.5 gig WAN port, Ethernet is going to be the best option here, but you can also set it up to act as a Wi-Fi repeater, as well as tether it to your smartphone with the USB-C cable, but we are going to do the Ethernet. Using a VPN can protect your privacy. Would you like to try it now? Actually, no, I don't. There is a lot to dig into here, but especially if you're traveling, right? This is a travel router. And yeah, you can use this to split the single device paid Wi-Fi on an airplane to as many devices as you want, your phone, your laptop, whatever. Eventually, your Beryl 7 can pay for itself, but you also might use it in a hotel room if they've got an Ethernet jack. But if they don't, you can also steal the Wi-Fi from the hotel by using the repeating Wi-Fi functionality. And even if it has both Wi-Fi and Ethernet, you can also still add tethering to have a multiple WAN situation for load balancing or for failover. You can see right here, it's so magic. We can do MLO now? What? Because it's Wi-Fi 7, why wouldn't you be able to? I want to do a speed test, but I set the SSID to the same for 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz, so I'm just going to change this to I Miss My Cat 2.4. We'll go to fast.com. Damn, girl! This $140-ish travel router on 5 gigahertz, cracking 1.2, 1.3 gigabit. What about the upload speed? Okay, yeah. Almost a gig. I mean, we're not using any VPN or anything yet, but still. If you were at a hotel that had some sick internet, like, I don't see why you couldn't push over a gig over a VPN to a device that is then on Wi-Fi. It's nuts. But let's try going to a local speed test server running on my NAS when we've got all the 10 gig backhaul. Let's see if that cooked just a little bit harder. It might. Gosh, golly, gee willikers, Batman, that's wild. This isn't even a Wi-Fi 7 device. I mean, we're right next to it, don't get me wrong, but still. Let me try it on my phone here. I want ideal circumstances here, all right? We're cherry picking these results. Wow, over a gig. The MacBook Wi-Fi chipset, obviously a little bit higher powered. Sometimes that is better than the latest technology, you know what I mean? You can also try MLO to get even more speeds. In theory, that's where your device, assuming it's compatible, will combine and connect to multiple channels, so both 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz at the same time, and use both to get more speed. But because a lot of devices kind of handle it differently, it's not the most reliable thing. You definitely, at the very least, want to have it as a discrete network, which you can see they do here. It's a -MLO would be the network name. But frankly, I am far more interested in how fast this thing can go over a gigabit VPN. But before we get our Beryl 7 connected to any VPN, I am gonna set up our Brume 3 as a VPN server, and then we can just connect it to that. We've got to hardwire it though, because this doesn't have Wi-Fi. Hey, there it is, look at that. GL.MT 5000, wow. In the dashboard here, I mean, it looks pretty much exactly the same as the Beryl 7 in terms of what options they have. You can connect it to a Tailscale network if you want to use their peer-to-peer VPN server. They've got 0-tier support. They got Tor support, AdGuard Home. Make sure you whitelist my YouTube channel. Even network storage in here. But what we're more interested in is the VPN Wireguard server, yeah. One of the really sick features they've implemented is obfuscation. So say you're using it maybe on an airplane or whatever, and you don't want them to know that it's VPN traffic, if you enable this obfuscation toggle here, it will make it appear like it's not VPN traffic. I don't know if this makes it slower though. I'm gonna not enable it yet. Now we gotta make a profile for our Beryl 7 to connect to. I'm gonna name it Beryl. What did you just say? Did you say I run out of fun? Fine. Andrew is stinky. Can we give it up for Andrew Moore and being stinky?
I hate it here.
Shit. I'm gonna change the LAN subnet of our Brume 3 so that it's different from the Beryl 7. That way I can connect to both at the same time. And then if we connect back to I Miss My Cat, get them both side by side on our Beryl 7, we'll go to VPN Wireguard Client, add manually, export. Beautiful. Andrew is stinky. Wireguard profile. But it's not gonna be able to make a connection yet. If you were using the Brume 3 as your main primary router, I believe it will automatically set up the port forwarding rules for WireGuard, but in our case, we need to do it manually. You just have to set up a port forwarding rule on the main router to forward the WireGuard port to this device, and then it's basically just acting as like a little VPN portal. If you had multiple IPs, you could even just give it its own IP and turn the firewall off. And then once you unplug the LAN side, by default, your WireGuard server isn't even gonna share the local LAN network. It's just gonna act as a traffic forwarding service. Oh, hey, look at that. The WireGuard portal is in. Now, technically speaking, this is kind of wired connection still between these two devices. So this is very much the optimal circumstances. Let's see how fast our speed test is over the VPN. That's pretty bad, actually. What is going on, boys and girls? To eliminate the variable of my router being funky or anything like that, what I'm gonna do instead is set our Beryl 7 to use the local IP address of the Brume 3 so that they can make a direct connection and we can see under most optimal circumstances how fast it can really go. It's not quite 1100, but it's hitting pretty much gigabit both ways. Damn! Let's try fast.com just for funsies. Damn! Snaps for GL.iNet. I'm gonna bring this to Asia with me. The latency will be really high. You're not gonna get quite as much speed over that long distance, but to be able to get close to it, whew, 'tis a sight to see, my friends. Damn! 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 As advertised, up to 1100 megabit over VPN. Over here in my kitchen, about 30, 40 feet away from the Beryl 7, we're getting about 700 down and 300 up. That's pretty damn good. But let's try further. Ooh, wow. And then upstairs, a lot further away, through the floor. And I mean, there's like this dog gate here. We're getting like almost 500 down and 250 up still. Maybe, let me try and go on the other side of the gate. Maybe that'll help. Damn, 700 down, 400 up, just on the other side of this Faraday cage dog gate. That's not bad. But we also gotta know is, can it handle the speeds it says on the box just as a router? And there we go, 2.5 gigabit all day, 4 milliseconds loaded latency, we're cooking. This is a buffer bloat test, and if you're not familiar, poor quality routers can put you in a situation where if your internet connection is being fully utilized and you're trying to game and you find that your latency is going, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's usually because of buffer bloat, because your router doesn't do a very good job at prioritizing the connections and buffering them accordingly. This one scored an A, plus 5 milliseconds. Now, let's test the multi-WAN functionality. We'll enable tethering on the main internet page here. You can see ETH2 iOS. After I've accepted it as a trusted device, we'll click a OK on that. We got Andrew's phone here working on the tethering. We've got 2 WANs, and then now let's also connect a Wi-Fi one too. Why not, right? Let's get triple WAN going. There's a bunch of stuff you can do in here. You can even tell it to like forcibly update the MAC address. You can even spoof the MAC address. It's very cool. We'll hit apply, and then our router is going to also connect over Wi-Fi, and I'm connected to it over Wi-Fi at the same time. It's a magical device, I'll tell you. So right now we're in failover mode. It's going to be trying to just maintain the connection as best as it can, and we're going to mess it up by unplugging the Ethernet. We lost 1 ping, a little bit of a Wi-Fi latency spike, and other than that, we're exactly back to where we were. Now, I'm gonna break the internet. I'm curious to see how quickly it fails off of the Wi-Fi. There you go. Only 1 packet lost again. damn. I mean, the cellular latency is way worse, but we still have a connection. That's great. That's exactly what we want. That's what it's built to do. It does what it says on the tin. Other than that, it's got all the features you know and love from GL.iNet products. They've got their fully featured VPN client support. You can go on here. If you use like Mulvad or NordVPN, you can just like log in directly in the router page. You don't have to download any profiles. It's super slick for that. It integrates with Tailscale in zero tier if you have a peer-to-peer setup. The only other thing that I haven't actually played with before is the Brume 3 apparently has its own kind of deep packet inspection, so you can do a little bit of checking out on your traffic. Let's take a quick look at that, because I've never played with that before. It has a bunch of stuff in here. You can use deep packet inspection for quality of service stuff, so you can optimize traffic. There's a parental control feature. They also have content filtering and data stats, so you can see what things they're connecting to. Oh wow, look at all these analytics. Wow. You can create a site-to-site VPN network on Good Cloud. Got stats about your devices, like the network traffic. I had no idea they had this. Oh yeah, look, you can see all the app traffic in there. Whoa. And then content filter. You can block certain app categories like malware, gambling, and adult. Nice. Look at that block total. Hey, it worked. This is a pretty new feature for them. I think it's in beta, but it does seem to work pretty effectively. The cool thing with deep packet inspection is it's beyond just like a DNS filter. I can't bypass by just setting my DNS to not the router itself. This is like blocking it at a connection level. You do have to disable network acceleration to run it, so there might be situations where your network speed ends up being like a little bit slower because of it. Assuming you don't have the craziest fast of connection, you should still be good to go. I don't know what else there is to say. The Beryl 7 is available today at the link down in the description. It's small, it's cute, and it's 15% off until March 5th. That's only $119. And their brand new 4K ready IPKVM, the Comet Pro. Look at this thing, remote access goodness. That's also 15% off. Check them out at the link down in the description. Also, while you're down there, get subscribed, hit the like button, and let me know what you think about them. Do you like the colorway? This is something they asked me at CES. They were like, what do you think of the new color? Everyone really likes it. And I was like, I kind of like black.